Hello people of the YouTube. I'm going to start off this video with a preamble saying I apologize if you hear any clocks ticking or dinging in the background, as I have a lot of clocks in my house. You'll probably at some point hear some loud dinging, and I may mention it. Probably won't even notice it though. Okay, glad that that's out of the way. So I wanted to make a video on how to use rails in Robocraft, because a lot of people really don't use them correctly, even some people in the very highest tiers. Basically, rail cannons are sniper rifles in Robocraft. They have a very long-range scope and deal a good amount of damage with penetration added to it. The penetration is calculated by using the trajectory of the shell and then generating 3 points in a line from where the shell hits and radiating all of the damage from those 3 different points. So, actually, if you are shooting something that is 1 block thin, you'll do 1/3 of the damage that you would do if you were shooting at something that was thicker. I would really suggest not building your robots 1 block thick, because that would mean that any SMGs, Proto-Seekers, Plasma, anything else pretty much would wreck you. Okay, so, as I was trying to load in single player originally, encountered a really fun and creepy, weird bug. I'm probably going to include a clip of that right here. What? What? What did I just find? Taking up no energy. Oh my... What the hell is this thing? Satan is coming for you. Okay. So, let's go on to how to use a rail. Okay, so let's just go over, there are very fast projectiles you can see there. Extremely fast. And so, for the most part, you won't have to worry about leading your shots, which leading means that you aim slightly in front of a target so that you actually hit it. So as you probably saw right there, I'll probably slow it down. I'm shooting when I'm slightly in front of it, but I'm actually still hitting it. Okay, with that out of the way, target prioritization. You want to try and attack enemies that are the most of a threat to your team, so ones that have the biggest guns and ones that are the most tanky. So let's take this guy right here. He's relatively tanky. So, because of the fact that he has extremely redundant amounts of SMGs, or lasers as they're called now, you don't want to aim for those, at least not at first. You want to aim for the tank tracks, because they're relatively high CPU components, and when they're all gone, he won't be able to move anymore. So as you can see, he's completely stranded right now. So on a bot with redundancy like this, then you just try to aim for the guns. By this point, they'll almost definitely be firing at you, and he is despawned. But, let's just... Oh, I was clicking the wrong keys, that's lovely. Okay, so, but, they'll most likely be firing back at you, but by that point, you can probably kill them much more reliably than they can kill you. So again, aim for the tank tracks, and the penetration right here is helping me because even if I hit the skirt surrounding the tank tracks, I'm still doing at least a little bit of damage to it. So rails are very effective at taking out hidden or concealed movement parts and different components like modules. So the biggest thing that I mentioned when I was talking about target prioritization is if they have a big gun. For example, that mega laser right there, that is a big gun. You want to aim for that and try to shoot it off so that they won't be as much of a threat to you or your teammates. With mechs, a lot of the time you actually want to aim for the mech leg because it's a high CPU component that has a lot of health, and so it can strand him, make him difficult to control, and be effective in taking him out. So as you can see, I just got rid of enough CPU there that I was able to completely destroy his bot. That would, even if it didn't completely destroy his bot, he would be entirely stranded and there would be nothing that he could do. That is the most effective way actually to take out the mech leg spammers. These are usually rails also, and they use 5 to 9 mech legs just because of their extreme tankiness and mount rails directly onto the mech legs. if you aim for the mech legs, you both take out their rails, and you deal a very nice chunk of damage to them. For any sort of flyer, you will want to aim for airfoils or rotors that are very large. And that's the basis of it. Try to aim for movement parts because they're high CPU, and try to aim for guns, and that's just about it. At this point, I'm going to take out a stranger rail that I have to discuss some more of the game mechanics and show how you use it in a team deathmatch. If you're in Battle Arena, actually, one big thing to aim for is crystals. On top of different bots that are causing a lot of trouble for you and your teammates, aiming for crystals is a good way to help out your team. Having 2 of the fusion towers makes it so that your team overclocks much faster than the enemy team, and this leads to a much higher chance of winning. Because of both the penetration, the high damage, and the high protonivity of rails, they do very high damage to all types of protonium. You can also use rails to take out the opponent's reactor from a distance while the rest of your team is trying to cause havoc and push into the enemy's spawn if they're being very defensive. Thanks, QTimes. I guess that this is what I get from trying to upload a bunch of stuff at once. Oh hey, perfect timing. Basically I had to upload a bunch of stuff, and so my internet is running quite slow. Yeah, also the fact that I have incredibly slow internet in general. So one final thing with rails is that they're completely effective and accurate when on the ground all the time. Recently, that really didn't happen that much, but happens now. Basically, in the air, they can be extremely inaccurate, but... Oh, and this is a mech leg sniper, actually. So as you can see, I just took out one of his legs, and he had to retreat inside of his area. But anyway, snipers can actually be used on sleds now because it's just basically an extremely fast and fun design. It doesn't really work using a copter because they don't have very good accuracy at all. And that is Tesseract. Tesseracts and most drones in general, you just want to keep on sniping them so that they get weakened. And that is a Tesla guy, and that is... okay, it looks like they have a copter platoon. So that is an Ion, which I want to aim for especially because it's a big weapon. And then you can see that this guy, I then took out his movement parts, aka his rotor blades. And then he was at my complete mercy for me to take out. Got 2 assists and 1 kill, so that got me top score. But you can use the snipers on very fast builds now. It used to be where you had to be almost entirely still for rails to be effective at all, but that is definitely no longer the case. And there's one more type of bot counter to go over. There is the arrow rod spammer. These are bots that as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, clocks. Took me a little while to realize that because I'm so used to the clocks. You done yet? Yay, it's done. Okay, so, moving on, there's the arrow rod spammers, and their mentality is basically if I can't get hit easily, I will be able to ruin everybody. Several of these bots that I've seen are not well built at all, and they have all of their arrow rods basically all connecting into one place, so that actually sniping off one of their rails poking up will destroy almost all of their rails, or all of them. However, the most effective way to defeat ones that are actually well built is to flank them, because they will be constantly looking over the wall, and because of the way that their rails are positioned, it will be physically impossible, it'll be physically impossible for them to hit you. Wow, words. Okay. So, it will be physically impossible for them to hit you, and you can just destroy them because they normally have a relatively small body with lots of movement parts, with all of the arrow rods shooting out from it. Okay, thanks for watching my video, and if you want to see anything else, just let me know. Please tell me what you'd like to see. If you'd like to see tutorials on how to use other weapon types, if you want to see build tutorials on how to build several of these bots that I'm talking about, if you want to see me put them up on the shop in a non-premium version so that they're easy to access for other people, just let me know what you want. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. That was a really weird voice. So is this one.
Bye, guys. It's fun talking with you.
Okay, people are I'm just gonna stop now. Bye!